A lot of people talk to me when I'm out in the community and they're asking, kind of about what we do. And really what we do is just exactly what it says, helping injured people. The way it most often manifests itself is people be injured on the job or injured in an accident, and they really just don't know what to do next. And there's two parts to it. One, their job, and simply, is to get better, to follow whatever medical treatment's provided, to follow that course of instruction the doctor gives you, and to really do the things that help them get physically and mentally back on track. The difficulty and the fear that a lot of people run into is they don't know how to deal with the insurance aspects or the financial aspects or the legal aspects. And that's in essence where we come in. We don't try to tell you what the doctor should do or not do or how to be treated. We've got a lot of experience in that area of seeing what's happened with clients and the patients and how the doctors have treated them. But that's not really our place. Our place is to make sure that your rights are protected, that you're taken care of, basically that you don't have to worry about it anymore. Don't have to worry about that part of it. The difficulty we find sometimes, unfortunately, is when people are in the most vulnerable of positions. They're injured, they're worried, they're out of work, they're frightened, is when oftentimes the providers, the insurance companies, want to hurry up and wrap it up. They want to get a signature from you, they want to get a statement from you, and it's a difficult time. And so again, our role really is to just make sure that you're taken care of. We do legal work, we process things, we gather records, we do a lot of mechanics, but I think the service that we really offer is removing the burden, the additional stress from somebody that's been injured. We take away that part of the worry. I know in my own life, my wife laughs, I'm a worrier. I'm worried about this, everything's got to be right, it's got to be lined up. But anytime I can have one thing that I know's done, or one thing I know is taken care of, then even emotionally I feel better. She laughs, I'm a list maker. I can check one thing off my list. If I know I have a good doctor, if I know I have a good plumber, if I know I have a good attorney, somebody I can trust, somebody who is taking care of me, then that leaves me more time to be focused on the things that are truly important, like my family and my health and the things that that are there at the house. And so that's the service we provide. Now, a lot of people, when they go and they are trying to decide, because people hope they never need an attorney, but a lot of people are trying to decide, well, how do I decide? And I use again the plumbing example. I always liken it. I can open up the Yellow Pages and I can look in their list of plumbers, for example. And that's really not my area of expertise. And I could probably get under the sink and I could probably undo the pipes. But what I really want to know is somebody that's going to treat me fairly, that's going to do a good job, that's going to charge me a fair price, and I can quit worrying about it and get on to what I do in life. And so a lot of people, when they open up the Yellow Pages, they're injured, they're really not sure how to proceed as far as getting an attorney. And people are a little concerned, how do I decide? Well, a couple things. I always urge people, you can't go by the Yellow Page ad. You can't go by this website. You can't go by anything where somebody's telling you, this is why you hire us. You ultimately have to make it in the same way you make all of your decisions day in and day out. You rely on information. You rely on people you trust that have had similar experiences. You rely on your reactions when you talk to the people that you're going to hire or retain to help you, just like you do with your doctor, just like you do with your plumber. You rely on the feeling you have of how you believe the person you're going to deal with or that you're going to hire is going to treat you. What we do in that regard as a firm is we urge people, if you're interested in our services, come see us. We sit down, you'll meet with an attorney, you'll meet with the staff. We don't take every case that comes in here. There are some firms that they decide they want to get as many cases in as possible and process them, and I respect that that's the way they want to proceed. We don't. We want to make sure there's a fit, that there's a fit with your case and our abilities to make sure what I was speaking earlier about of kind of removing the stress and removing the anxiety. we want to make sure we can deliver. Because I can tell you, if I don't feel like I'm delivering, if I don't feel like this firm is doing what I would want done for me in a similar circumstance, then I can tell you, then I've got new anxiety, because I don't think we're living up to what we've sat down in that initial meeting and told you. Another thing I'll tell you, a lot of times when we sit down with people, oftentimes I'll tell them why they don't need an attorney. And people kind of look at me funny. I say, don't go around town telling people I'm the guy that tells you how not to hire an attorney. But there are times when you need help, and there are times when you can handle it yourself. And what we try to do is look at it and tell you if that's the case too. There are some people who could handle it to themselves but don't want to. I remember the first time the guy cut my grass, and I felt guilty, like I had to hide in the house because this guy's working in my yard and I've cut my grass before plenty of times. Some people make decisions, they just don't want to deal with it, and in the appropriate circumstances we can provide that service too. But when you come in, the issues we need to address initially are, of course, what happened. Is it somebody's responsibility other than yours? What is the extent of your medical treatment? What are your damages? So when you come in, people always say, well, what do I need to bring? Bring whatever you have. You know, we want police reports, we want doctor's notes, anything you have. Now, we're going to gather everything, but we need you to bring what you have, and so we can get started.